Hey guys, welcome back to Divine Faith Repping Fitness. I got a recipe for you, and it is a kind of a protein-based, simple couscous kind of chicken dish. I have no recipe name for it. It's just something that I mix together, and it's usually in accordance to what I have in the fridge. Now, I have couscous, and I got more of the thicker grained couscous right here. I bought it by an 8-pound bag, and I paid roughly $10 for an 8-pound bag. So, food that goes for the bang. This is it. This is like pasta. This is like rice, beans. It has a cheapness to it. Yes, it is a wheat kind of based product, but it has a protein to fat ratio that's very high, like 6 grams of protein to like 0.5 grams of fat. So, yes, it's not necessarily brown wheat or buckwheat or hemp flour or anything of that nature, but again, this is an introduction to fitness, to health, and this is where I'm at in my introduction. And when I get more into it, well, we'll see how my food changes and if my budget goes up. Next I also have is beans. I hate cooking beans. I'm a white person, and I just was not really in my blood to be cooking beans. I went to Haiti and Jamaica and to India. They got all these beans, and they really know how to cook them, and they have the patience to cook them, and they have the know-how. I'm just was horrible. I tried soaking them for 24 to 48 hours, like these red kidney beans, and trying to cook them in a Le Creuset pan for a long time, and they turned out like either mushy or still hard, and just for the heck. Okay, you know what? I paid 99 cents. I bought these brown beans here, and I like them because they came in a maple syrup kind of sauce. So it adds some extra flavor and sweetness to my dish to make it go away from that blandness that I usually get with beans. And the headache is just basically warm it up. Open the can, warm it up, and you got beans, and you got a sense. A protein source, yes, obviously coming out of cans is not going to be as great, but this is the compromise I'm making. It's 99 cents, it's quick, so something that's quite quick, and actually just to say couscous cooks very fast. It does not take much. Next, I have bouillon, and it's actually beef bouillon because I like the flavor in between chicken to beef. I got the low sodium if I can because I'll add my salt accordingly after, but this is to go with the couscous. You could be using water to cook the couscous, but I'm using bouillon so that this can soak up the flavor, and I want to have flavor. Next, I have chicken. I didn't show how to cook the chicken, but basically I had a whole chicken, I cooked it, or else you can go to the store and pretty much under $10 you can buy a pre-cooked whole chicken. Now this one was a $30 one, but it was whole grain, and it was a very large, very large chicken. It was almost like a baby turkey. But I cooked that, and this is these are leftovers actually from the 2 other kind of meals that I've had with chicken. Next, I have garlic because of the health benefits of garlic. I usually put a whole head of garlic inside my meals, just because of the health benefits that it comes with it, not necessarily the taste. It has a potent taste, but if you do it right, you saute it, and it'll taste good. Then I like to go with red onion instead of yellow and white. That's just a personal preference. It's just something to add a little crunch, a little flavor, extra, again, to add, eating the color of the rainbow. So this is, again, very simple dish. Next, also for protein, was broccoli. This is plant-based protein. Then you add your animal-based, and well, again, another plant, but another style. This is more of a carb, and that's more vegetable fiber, and well, you got the animal fiber. Again, it was chicken was, yes, obviously a whiter meat that's more lean, and it's supposed to be healthier, and being grain-fed would be even better than the commercial chicken. Now, but again, this was availability. I opened up my cupboard, and I found I had a big old leftover bag from my 8 pounds. I had about 5 cans lined up here. I had about 3 of these because I use this to cook my pasta. I had some of this in my water when I cook my pasta to soak, because the pasta soaks up some of that flavor, so you get more tasty pasta. I had this left over. I had 3 heads from when I bought. I had this in the back of the fridge, and I just bought this recently. So you know what? I just throw all these dishes. Now I'm going to show you what you need to be able to cook this dish, and quite simply I'll show you the simple processes to go through making this dish on a budget. I mean, this probably cost me about $1, 25 cents. The chicken probably cost me more, but okay, let's say, okay, $5 for what I'm going to put in. That costs me 2 of what I'll need, $1, and that's probably 50 cents of couscous I need. So this is not expensive, considering that you're going to go out to some of these restaurants, fast food places, and you're going to spend 15 bucks, and you're going to get one meal, and it's not going to be that great. Yes, you didn't have to cook and do the dishes, but this meal is going to last you for more than one day, and it's going to be healthy. Alright. You guys, you must forgive me. I forgot 2 items for ingredients, and that is actually one of the most important ones: salt. Again, I use kind of a sea salt or an exotic kind of salt. This one's from the Dead Sea. And according to your taste buds, your culture, you'll be using different seasoning, but season it. This actually is what seasoning I have is Montreal steak spice. I find it tastes good in moderation, and I'll be adding these according to my taste in the ingredients. So excuse me, I forgot to add these 2. Alright, so here's some of the things that you'll be needing to cook this dish. Quite simply, you have a pot that's going to basically be where your couscous is going to be cooking and where the bouillon is going to be warming up. After that, you're going to have your frying pan. This is a kind of a non-stick pan. This is where you're going to saute your broccoli, your onions, your garlic, and warm up the meat at the same time. Now, you have a measuring cup. This is the larger kind, not literally the measuring cup, but this is to measure out my liquids in concordance of how much bouillon and how much couscous I need. I'll be using that. Now, I have bowls here. I have different kind of bowls, but this is kind of practical because and there's the big one. You get the point, right? And it's all nice and colorful. Now, this is where you put the final product in, and this is where I put my prepped items. If they're all going to be mixed up or whatever, you can also bring another one if space allows you, and you put that there. You do your chopping, and you can put your onion skins, your garlic peels, the stem end of a broccoli. You put that all in there, and then you pour it into the trash can. But like me, I keep a trash can beside me when I cook, so that I can just take it, I can drop it. So those are my bowls. I also keep a cloth with me to wipe up unnecessary things, my hands, just to keep the area clean. Usually I'll tuck that on me somewhere or keep it close, right? Or I'll wipe off my knife from onions or garlic, or just the handle from it getting sticky. Well, here it is, a knife. I always like a nice sharp knife, usually a chef's knife. Will do the trick to you. You just really need 3 knives. You can have a small paring one. I have actually down here, I have a smaller knife if you wanted to, versus this one. But I'll use this one. Or you have other small ones to do smaller chopping. But this one does all the jobs I need, and it's Japanese, so it cuts very well. This is an optional tool to have when it comes to garlic. This is because they mention about, when you press out garlic and those oils come out, and your body's better, better to grab those nutrients from the garlic since it's being opened. Well, this is considered a garlic press. You put the clove of garlic there, you squeeze it out, it's going to come out, parade it through these holes. And this is to better absorb the nutrients of the garlic. Now, I have one because my mom is Italian and she uses this all the time. If not, if you don't have this, you just simply crush the garlic. I'll show you that later. Quite simply and stupid, but a can opener to open the can, okay? I don't use my teeth. Here I have 2 non-stick spatula and spoon, I would say. Kind of well used and burnt from melting on a couple of stuff, but you'll learn not to do that. Very simple to clean, very simple to rinse off, won't scratch pans, and it's quite simple. Last and the least, a cutting board. These could be eventually changed out for something else, easy to clean. I still use this cutting board on top of wooden cutting board, just less abuse on this. I just like the wood because of the forgiveness that it has versus let's say this kind of counter, ceramic counter, marble counter, a wooden counter, whatever it may be. This is, I find, rather forgiving. Although I do use it. If you ever looked on this, I have all the knife marks and all this, but I use this anyways. Or when I use meat, I try to keep meat off of my main surface. If I do put meat on it, I'll clean it with vinegar. You know, you could use lemon, soap, whatever it may be. But quite simply, that's all you need. And, well, 2 hands, right? Alright, so first step is basically, let's turn on the pan. Let's just put it below high, so in between 8. What's 8 should be about right. Now, I'll be doing 1.5 cups of couscous, and the general rule of thumb is to double the liquid amount of the solid dry amount. So 1.5 cups times 2, that would simply be 3. So I'm going to put 3 cups of liquid. In this case, I'm using beef bouillon. You could add water, or you can make a ratio. If you don't like too much of that beef taste, you can do half bouillon, half water, quarter, whatever. You mix it, but again, this is just because couscous absorbs quite a lot of liquid, and I want this liquid to have flavor, or else it's kind of bland, and you have to add it elsewhere. So I'm going to put in 2 cups, and then I'm going to add another third one. Here's 2 cups. Well, I keep my bouillon, once open, I keep it in the fridge, so that it doesn't lose its whatever. See, this is the hard part about it. No, leave it running. See, I mess up sometimes. I don't have all the words, and I'm not Jamie Oliver yet. And you know, just quite simply, just grab this out of the fridge, fill up the remaining cup, and move on. So it keeps it fresher. That's the word I'm looking for. Just fresher when it's in the fridge.
Because it says so in the box.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the smart remarks. Okay. So while this is running and warming up, I have some time to do my vegetable prep. So it's vegetable prep. So with the vegetable prepping, I'm going to start with broccoli because this is going to be the one that's going to take the longest to cook. Now, quite simply, remove the leaves off of it. I don't really like to eat the leaves. Now, most people think broccoli can only be edible from the top, but to be quite true, you can eat the remainder. The only part I wouldn't eat is the one that's been oxidized at the end, and that one I'm just going to quite simply cut off and throw in the trash. See? Helps? Just trash in the trash right away, alright? So, with common sense with this, basically, is you can see that the stem part is thicker and the taper's stacked down. So don't do the same size at the bottom as top, it won't cook as efficiently. So you want to taper your cut size, basically, smaller than if you were over here. You might do a little bit of a larger one. You know, this can all vary. Okay, so the different cuts. So I'm just going to cut this up. Okay, I'm going to toss this into my pan. It's not my pan, it's my bowl. Here what I'll do is I'll try to cut as close as I can to the greens so they can break off, and then I'm remained with this stem. I normally don't like to eat this one, it's awkward, but I still got a little bit left here, so I'm just going to throw that one away. Now, and break them off, and if you get the stem here, well, get the stem off, yeah, that's edible. Get the stem off, that's edible. Now I'm going to be breaking these down to smaller bite size. It's okay, they don't have to be exactly uniform, but try to. Just try to, okay? So, here I go. Now I have the heads of the broccoli, and I'm just going to put this off to the side. Actually, I'm going to put it in here to pour it off later. Remaining of the stuff, trash can. Now, the reason I have it like this is because the stems are going to go in first, then it's going to go in this, then it's going to be the remainder. You know what? I'm going to do a switcheroo. I'm just going to do a switcheroo here. Woo! Because I'm going to have a larger amount. See? Cooking doesn't have to be perfect. I guarantee you, you're going to forget something. You're going to remind yourself, oh, I did it wrong this last time, and you're going to correct yourself, and you're going to adapt. The whole point is about adapting. No one gets to be good and perfect the first time. Now with the onion, just quite simply cut off the tops. away. Then what I do is I just cut down the middle. Now here's the elephant in the room. Everyone thinks you have to cry and tear when you cut onions. That's not necessarily true. I found a trick, and it has a compromise. Obviously I'm removing the top skins, I don't eat these. Now the compromise they say is rinsing it underwater will help you not cry, but it's going to take away some of the flavor. But I think onion has enough flavor as it is, okay? If you rinse it off and eat a raw onion, it's still going to taste like a freaking raw onion, okay? So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to rinse it in cold water, just for not too long, okay? You're going to feel the sliminess. Just like that. Shake it off, and you're going to not cry. You shouldn't cry. You really shouldn't. Obviously, if you put your face above it and cut, well, you're probably going to cry. And now, whatever way this is, I'm just going to put it down this way. And I'm going to cut. Now, my cuts are not perfect, but I usually try to keep them so that, because usually if I lift, they're going to lift off with the knife. Now, they're all been cut in a way like this manner. Whatever that manner is called. I'm not a professional, I'm not a cook. Now, I'm just going to chop them. So, now you'll be able to have relatively close, I don't like the core, so if I find that yellow core, I'm just going to throw it out. I just, personal preference, don't like that. And they're going to be relatively quite quickly. How long did that take me to chop? Not long. Now, yes, you might have some obviously long ones, but again, I'm not cooking to be beautiful, I'm cooking to be healthy and quick, easy. So I'm just going to toss that in with the remainder of the heads of broccoli because they're about going to be the same amount of cooking time. Now, what you could do is, you know, they tell you to cut. I'm crying! This is a strong onion. It's supposed to help. It's supposed to. Actually, this is really.
It was a myth.
No, it's not a myth. I've done it before. It's just this time it decided to be really strong. Wow. Some people, they tell you to cut under here, cut like this, and cut like this, and then chop this way. Well, I'm not there yet, nor do I like it. I just like my simple manner of doing it. All in the end, it's going to get chopped up in your mouth anyways. That's it. Try to break it up in your hand at least a little bit so that they're not all stuck together in layers. Now behind me, I'm starting to hear my couscous boil. So this is the time for me to start turning my other pan on. And I'm going to put it a little bit medium high. Okay? I'm going to reduce this to medium heat, and I'm going to dress the garlic. Now I actually took a head of the garlic out just to add to a picture that I'm doing of the ingredients, but normally you have a whole head. Now in the back part you'll see is this really tough part, and you don't want to eat that, and normally you cut off the back end on the garlic anyways. So what I try to do in one shot is here, with a sharp knife, cut off all the back ends. So you can see here, all my back ends are cut, all in one shot. So that's relatively the name of the game. Now I bash them. I just take your anger out on them, and I bash them. And you'll see, yeah, they crack. But what happens quite simply is the skin comes off. Quite simply. Versus if I didn't take one, you have to try to peel it, versus when I smashed it, it comes off. Now, I lost it. Now let's just go away and smash them. You don't need to pulverize them. That's not necessarily what you need to do. Just smash, and it falls out. Just check if there's any remaining. Smash, 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 smash. That's it. Woo! Now remove all these off. Now behind me I should be adding oil to the pan, some kind of lubricant to the pan. Now I don't have olive oil at the moment. I don't have my hemp seed oil like I could usually have. I don't even have vegetable oil because I left it at someone's place. So the only remaining oil that I have is peanut oil. It's not usually the one I cook with. But that's another ingredient that I forgot to tell you. You need cooking oil. See, this is why I'm doing these videos, so I can learn, so I can practice, and you can learn with me. Because I guarantee if you started doing videos, you too might forget these things. Alright, now that's done. I'll be right back. Ta-da! I'm back. Peanut oil. Throw some of that in the pan. Let that warm up. Now, I'm going to throw the couscous in. But I can't because I put it in the same. Anyways, I'm going to actually, this is the time for me to throw in the broccoli stems. Throw that in there. And let that cook. Now, couscous. I have a large amount. And I said I had 8 pounds. Well, I had 8.8 pounds. So, I'm going to do a cup and a half of couscous. Still got a lot of freaking couscous for like 10 bucks. I'm going to drop this in. And you're probably going to spill some like I did. Okay. Now, one thing I've learned with couscous, if you forget about it for like 2 minutes, next time you're going to look, it's going to be, all the liquid's going to be gone. And I'm telling you, alright, come take a look. Take a look what the couscous looks like now. I just put it in. I reduced it to medium heat. And on the clock it's 3:40. Take a look inside. You're going to see quite quickly how this is going to change. In a couple minutes. Just going to give that a stir. This is what I don't like about certain oils versus butter. Butter doesn't snap at you with like hot bubbles of anger. But butter is, you know, fattening in essence. It tastes good, but it's fattening and, well, too high of a heat it burns. Margarine, I wouldn't be using that either. So, I'm left with the only cooking oil that I have. So, I'm just going to actually take the time and chop up my garlic. What I'll do with garlic is as quickly as I can. If you don't have the little mechanism to crush it, you're just going to chop as small as you can, like that, just as small as you can, and then I try to chop it up. The thing about garlic is that it's sticky, and it likes to stick to the back of the knife. See, the reason I try to cut up as small as I can right away is because, watch, and then I get like these halves and these pieces, and I don't know, I just like to, you know, just as much as I can right away, in that essence, okay? Now, right here. Oh, come. See, 2 minutes. See, I told you in just 2 minutes, you forget about it. Look at it. It's done. That's the thing about couscous. It's like done. Boom, finished. Woo. And I spilled some. Just like that. Now leave it on the back burner. It's going to absorb any remaining. Now as for the garlic, you're going to put the head in it. And you can crush it like this. And what's going to happen? It's going to come out in little pieces. Like that. I'm going to add a little bit more. It's going to start coming out. Just like that. It's going to be all mushed up. That's another way of cutting garlic. The problem is that you have this back end of stuff. And you got to clean this out, and it's usually, you know, a messy job, and I don't like scraping my knife against this, and, you know, there's health benefits, right? Now, I don't like peanut oil. It's just not friendly. Now I'm going to dump the remaining stuff in. Give that a stir. At a later point, I'm going to add the garlic. At a later point. Make sure that's all chopped in. Now again, you can add beef, you can add pork as your meat source. I usually use pork because of health benefits of the better piece of crap that you can eat. Or chicken. In my case, I have chicken, but beef also is more tasty, I find. I'm just going to toss that off to the side here. Now, time for chicken. Put in the jar to look fancy, but in essence, it really came out of a bag. So, how much do I need? Well, how much do you want to eat? I'm going to chop these into smaller mouthfuls. And I'm going to throw them in with the remaining stuff. Just instead of just heating them up in a microwave, I don't like microwaves. I'd rather heat them up in here. Now I'm actually judging by my own eye. I might add more chicken. Again, there's no measurements really. It's personal preference. The only measurement I would tell you is the amount of liquid to couscous. That would be the only one I would recommend you on. Now this has been de-skinned because I try not to eat the skin, only if I'm at fried chicken places. Won't say any names. Other than them. Just come over here, take a look. This is it, it's going at itself. I'm going to add my seasoning now. Let the heat work out some of its flavors. Yes, you might get some that sticks to the pan, even if it's non-stick for some reason. I'm going to add my salt. Again, it's up to you. Now, with the salt though, there's two different things. I can either break up these crystals with my hand, or I have a machine that's man-powered. Mortal and pesto, and I throw in the salt crystals from the Dead Sea. I just go bang, 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 bang. Get all my frustrations out while you rub it. So or else that's what happens with this. You could either use this to break it down, or you break it down by hand because it's more cool. So I'm just going to dump that in. There you go. Seasoning is done. Give that a stir. Starting to smell good. Just reduce the heat a bit. Alright, well that's working. You want to see my couscous? Throw in the bigger pot that I said I had. There we go. I love making messes. It gives my dad something, a reason to clean.
Oh man.
So, maybe I should have got a bigger bowl. That's the thing, the perception of couscous before and after. Look at that. Okay, I put in a cup and a half. Let's look what a cup and a half looks like here. Okay, so I'm filling that to the top. And look here, look at that. Alright, I forgot to add my garlic. So add the garlic. Here we are. I usually end up the garlic at the end anyways because, sorry, my dad's trying to get a pot for me and he's trying to be like, not suspicious, but that didn't work out well. I'm hiding it. Now you gotta look up. Normally I add the garlic as raw as I can. Keep it in its raw form. Now, couscous really doubles, triples its size. Now look at that. If you could smell this, that smells good. This is healthy. You got onions, garlic, broccoli, chicken. It's just good, man. It's a little seasoning. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Now I know I have a non-stick pan, but it still looks like it sticks because it kind of does. But well, it's a different kind of non-stick pan. It's not the non-stick pan that you're afraid of scratching and it getting in your food, and it's a different kind of pan. And then I'm going to add the remainder of couscous. Woo, more dishes. And
yay.
Quite simple. I'm just going to mix that up. Oh no! Something completely evaded my mind. No! I forgot the magic ingredient. Beans.
Protein.
Because normally I have a sauce to flavor that couscous. But right now, I use the sauce of the beans. I'm going to warm that up. I am such a horrible chef guide cook. Just horrible. But you get the point, right? And that back on. Can opener. Don't look at the brand. Don't look at the brand. Don't. No. I'm not supposed to show you the brands. But I'm using Clark. Don't look at it. So if you actually look at the top, you're going to see the liquid on the top, and that actually is going to be flavoring and making my dish more moist than if it didn't have it. So I'm just going to dump that in. And let that warm up. Be a good human being, rinse out and recycle those. Now, so I had 1 head of broccoli, 1 clove, cup and a half couscous, 2 good handfuls of chicken, you got 1 onion. I mean, and so far, look at the size of this. This is a big bowl. I mean, I can't eat that, and I can probably eat this in a week. Okay, so about $15, and I got a week's worth of food. Now think about that. All right. One thing that they normally don't show you on cooking shows and recipes, they got dishes, and in between they usually edit out the stuff, but I gotta like place things. So while that's placing itself, no, placing yourself is like fixing your junk and placing yourself. That's not maybe probably the appropriate fixing. While it's warming up, and while this is actually collecting its flavors, I'm going to be doing some other things, right? When I say collecting the flavor,
Dishes?
No, I'm just going to place them in the right area. Put them in the right area. Actually, what I do whenever I make a dish, I let it sit and settle, let it cure, let the flavors mix between each other. And sometimes, depending on what you have, you finish its cooking, finish itself off in the cooking by just the steam and the heat. So I'm going to let these flavors mix. I'm going to add the beans when it warms up, but right now, I actually got to clean. So put some back in the microwave, back in the cupboard. Put the cap back on this and the cap back on that. Everything has its place, you know. Cupboard. Spices. Oh, I did have a sauce. Huh. You go figure. That in the sink. That in the sink.
It did not break. It is
sandproof.
no comments.
Huh?
No comments.
I hope you didn't film that. Woo! I always put a clip on these bags, like the bean bags, rice bags, so bugs don't get into it and keep it fresher. But just to show you what I was talking about before, there's couscous, that's the rest of my basmati rice, and that's red kidney beans. Now I paid pretty much $10 for each bag, and these are staple foods, and they do the job. When I need them, and I have them in large quantities. I didn't forget you, like I forgot you before. Alright. alright. Looking about right here. I'm still there, I'm still here. Last but not least, well, it is the least, chicken in the fridge. Alright, now I'm back. Wait, now I'm back. I decided not to edit this out. Alright, beans are warming up. Maybe they should warm up faster. For the convenience of the audience. Alright, let's cheer it on. Warm up, baby. That's one way of discovering, is it warm enough? Stick your finger in. Tastes like maple beans. Maybe because it is. And well, that's warm enough for my sake. And you know what? That's a lot of beans, but that's protein. Get all that goodness of sauce. Well, that's done. Let's mix this up. Close that up. Maybe I didn't need that second spoon. Okay, here. Just so my dad. I'm going to use the second spoon. Okay? Just to make more dishes for my dad. So he said I needed to use it, I'm using it. It's more scoopable. Just mixing this all up. Try not to get any big patches of couscous that didn't get touched. Alright, now the remaining residual heat's gonna warm up those beans. Alright. Now I'm gonna get 2 plates. Share it with my dad. I am so blonde that I've lived here 9 years, my plates have not changed. And I opened the wrong door. See, I think cameras have like these microwaves that affect children's heads and minds and thoughts.
It's called pressure.
I'm doing this really much for the second time. Normally I don't share people these things.
We got a late meal going now.
Oh yeah. This was for the taste, but I'll do less dishes for my dad then. Here's our big old plates that have lasted us like 11 years or more. 11 and counting. Alright, it cured enough. Let's do this. BAM! Look at that. Healthy goodness with compromises. Is that good enough, Dad, for you?
Yes, boy.
My son, hey Billy Bo Job Richard. Richie boy. Just want a little broccoli on top. Boom! So we got that over there. Throw that over there. You know how I eat this? I eat this with a spoon. Why? Because forks
have holes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I mean, all right. Look, simply. Now I'm gonna put this on the stand, and we're gonna try it. Take a look at that. Can you smell that goodness in there? Oh yeah, like any good chef, clean off the plate, throw it on the floor. Ça say Sandra. Ça say Stefan Burgerons.